Thank you, Perella. We're following breaking news this morning. Two deadly crashes in Greenville County, just a half a mile apart within minutes of each other. One happened on White Horse Road near West Blue Ridge Drive just before 2 o'clock this morning. Troopers say a motorcyclist failed to yield when turning and collided with another vehicle. That motorcyclist was not wearing a helmet and died at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle went to the hospital. The other crash happened on White Horse Road as well at West Marion Road. That's near the Walmart there in the area. The coroner's office says 2 vehicles collided and the passenger in one of the vehicles has died. We'll continue to follow up on those 2 crashes. This morning, COVID cases are the highest that they've been in nearly 6 months. The U.S. just reached a new milestone. More than 50% of Americans are fully vaccinated now. Our Daniel Robinson joins us from DHEC. And Daniel, what do cases look like right now across South Carolina? What can you tell us?
Yeah, Patrick, good morning. Cases are continuing to rise here across South Carolina. That's one reason health officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated. This as the Delta variant also continues to spread. If you're going to take a look at your screen, this is some data from DHEC this morning. It does show that cases spiked earlier this year in February before dropping off significantly between May and July. However, now data shows that those cases have spiked back up to what we saw earlier this year. As of August 4th, 2,200 people in the state have been hospitalized due to COVID-19. And as of Friday, the country's 7-day daily average was more than 107,000. That's the first time it topped 100,000 since February. And White House officials said that most of these increases are coming from areas that have a low vaccination rate. Live this morning in Greenville, Daniel Robinson, WYFF News 4.
Thank you, Daniel. And the Carolinas and Georgia don't update their daily COVID numbers on the weekends, but here's a look at the latest case and death tolls. We're going to bring you updates from the weekend later on today. There's a state of emergency happening in Durham, North Carolina, requiring everyone to wear masks inside public buildings starting tonight. City officials say they're not looking to arrest or fine people for not following that mandate, but they say it's up to the businesses and the people there to just simply look out for each other. Last week, North Carolina reported more than 4,500 new COVID cases, nearly 20 times higher than just 1 month ago. Right now, firefighters are investigating a building in a fire that happened in Anderson County. Officials say that it started right around 8 p.m. last night on Revival Center Drive. They've not said if anyone was hurt or how it started, but we're going to continue to keep you updated there as we learn more. Georgia officials have a suspect in custody accused of shooting at deputies and also connected to the shooting death of a postal worker. This happened in Banks County, west of Franklin, Georgia. The sheriff's office says 59-year-old Asia Jr. Wood was shot Saturday while delivering mail. Deputies came across a car of interest. When they tried to stop that car, officials say the driver took off. During that chase, a deputy did the pit maneuver. When the driver stopped, he got out of the car and began shooting at the deputies. Deputies shot back, injuring the driver, and then arrested him. Investigators are working to figure out a motive.
Fortunately, at this time, we don't have that information. We've not been able to interview the suspect due to the circumstances of us detaining him. So the GBI has been called in and the investigation will be ongoing.
The deputies involved in that shootout with the suspect are on administrative leave right now pending the investigation, which is customary in these situations. R. Kelly's New York trial begins today. He was arrested 2 years ago. The trial was delayed in February because of issues related to the pandemic. The disgraced R&B singer is charged with racketeering, sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, bribery, and forced labor. Jury selection begins today. Opening statements are set to start on August 18th. And today, the U.S. Senate is back to debating the massive infrastructure package. Lawmakers worked over the weekend on the $1.2 trillion bill. Jared Hill is in our exclusive Washington bureau with what's left for the Senate.
Patrick, right now we're locked in the minutia, essentially, of Senate procedure. But the moral of the story is that it does look like there are enough votes to pass this infrastructure package, possibly as soon as tomorrow. After a late Sunday Senate session,
it's been a long day.
The bipartisan infrastructure package is one step closer to passing. With 68 votes, it easily cleared another procedural hurdle, putting the $1.2 trillion transportation package on track for a final vote early this week.
This historic legislation that's going to get us better roads and bridges, better ports and airports, a better future for our economy.
But before that, more procedure. The Senate has to give 30 hours for debate before lawmakers can vote on the actual bill. Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty has been key to stalling the process.
Democrats' true intention is to rush this bill through so that they can hurry up and light the fuse on their $3.5 trillion spending spree.
One Republican concern continues to be how the package is paid for. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office concluded the bill would increase the deficit by about $256 billion over the next decade.
We've got to start doing things responsibly.
But supporters, even within the GOP, say the CBO couldn't count everything, be it future revenue or savings, like reallocating COVID relief money.
CBO doesn't give us credit, but that's $53 billion that we're repurposing that a reasonable person would say, yeah, that pays for it.
No matter how soon the Senate votes on this and passes the bill, the House likely won't take this up until after they're back from their August recess next month. Reporting in Washington, I'm Jared Hill for WIFF News 4.
And this week, the Greenville Municipal Court will hear cases on its front lawn. That's right, the building is still going through repairs after flooding damage. The judge anticipates all sessions to be on schedule throughout the week. For postponed cases, people will get a new subpoena in the mail with a new court date. And starting today, the Oconee County Treasurer's Office will be temporarily closed for in-person payments until further notice. All tax payments will be accepted online, over the phone, by drive-through, or by mail. The office's drive-through will be open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. And two longtime friends decided to enjoy one last summer together before life just got too busy. They did so with some persistence and some creativity and some innovation as well. Here's Taggart Hauk.
Cole Lewis and Victor Flayful of Spartanburg have been friends since the 4th grade. Now civil engineer majors at Clemson University.
We wanted an opportunity to actually go out and do something before being tied down with work and life.
They decided on a trip across the country.
We've done a couple of other trips where we've gone and we've set up tents every day, and that gets very old after about 3 or 4 days of doing that.
They took a leap and for the next 9 months built their own trailer, working every weekend and school holiday.
We're both working 40 hours a week, so add that on top of it surely didn't give us a whole lot of other free time with it. But we knew we had to get it done.
We just went piece by piece and we'd look stuff up and figure it out and decide how we wanted to do that.
This May, SCDOT signed off.
It was almost triumphant in a way to be able to say we built it and we're prepared.
Inside, a bunk bed and a small kitchen area, even a reminder of Clemson. Some hardships along the trip, including having to buy a new vehicle, but the sights.
It was certainly amazing getting to see a lot of stuff that people really don't get to go out there and see. When we went to Glacier, I think our first day there, we saw like all the types of wildlife. We saw the grizzly bears, we saw mountain goats, we saw elk.
28 states and 12,000 miles later, a lifetime of memories.
The older we get, I think the more we'll look back to this time and really value it for what we were able to gain out of it and the stories we'll have and be able to tell.
And lessons.
It'll all work out, like even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment, it'll all work out and you'll figure everything out. I think that's really a big thing that I can take away from that.
All right, very cool. The Tokyo Olympics are officially over, and one of the many stars was gymnast Suni Lee. She took home 3 medals for the U.S., including a gold for the coveted all-around event there. Her hometown of St. Paul, Minnesota, celebrated her with a big parade. Then Lee thanked Minnesotans for their support and encouraged young children not to give up on their dreams. And as the Summer Games wrapped up in Tokyo, in Virginia, it was all about the dogs. The Dog Olympic Games were in Alexandria at a dog-friendly bar and restaurant. There they are. Pups of all kinds performed stunts and tricks and even had a doggy costume contest. A portion of the proceeds from the games will go to benefit the Special Olympics.